Late in the fourth quarter, you were letting the ball roll up the floor, and look like the Nets players and the coaches were getting frustrated, and then Ben Simmons ended up fouling out. Was that planned? Like, just take me through the process of what you saw there and what you were trying to accomplish.
Pretty much, we got the lead. Clock don't stop till under 2 minutes, so they let me stay back there, let the ball roll, time going off. So it's their job to come pick up full court. So high IQ play.
Yeah, I'm going to ask another one, but what about the foul itself? It seemed like you were turning around because you knew he was going to come for the ball. Was that intentional?
If y'all want to, go dig up a play, I think it was like my rookie year. We was in Philly. Might have been my rookie year. We was in Philly and the same situation happened like that. Versus Ben in the first half. And I went to look at Coach to get the play, and he ran through the ball, got the steal, and went to dunk.
So you knew about that before the game started? And
I knew it at that moment. Once I seen him, I was rolling the ball, and I was at half. I looked at Coach, and I see him try to, look like, oh, yeah. So I knew I had him. He was going to press up, and I was just going to force the, ref to make the call.
So before we have a listen to Ben Simmons and his thoughts on the officiating and that foul, I did just want to jump into some stats about Ben Simmons' first 3 games with the Brooklyn Nets. So he's had 17 points and 14 fouls in the 3 games, and 2 out of the 3 games he has fouled out. And now Ben Simmons will speak about it in the video that I'm going to show you at the end. And I'll say a little bit, but he touches on how, he hasn't played in so long, he has to catch up with the speed of the game, which is totally understandable, but we're going to dig into some more stats. So James Harden this season has had 107 points scored and 39 assists. And Ben Simmons has 17 points and 21 assists. And I understand that he has to learn a whole new offensive system, has to learn a whole bunch of new teammates and the way they play. So that's why the assists could be down, even though he had 8 today, I think it was. But in his rookie year, Ben Simmons was like a 15, 7-7. That could even be underselling his rookie season. I can't remember. And I don't know if Ja Morant is speaking like LeBron and absolutely capping when he says he remembers from Ja's rookie season, even though it was 2 years ago. But there's definitely those moments in your life where you're doing something again and you kind of get like a flashback to when something happened. So if anyone thinks it's cap, I think it's 100% true. But Ja Morant is for sure making his case for the MVP this season. 49, 8-4 in his first game, 34, 9-4 in the next, 24-1, and then 38, 7-8. That's points, assists to rebounds. I'm so glad I've got him on my fantasy team. He's absolutely carrying it with Zion. But here's Ben Simmons' thoughts on the officiating tonight.
What happened there with the final call?
You tell me. What'd you see? I'll let her hear what you saw.
Well, I saw a guy rolling the ball. You tell me. I mean,
You tell me. You saw it. I want to hear what you saw. I don't want to get fined.
I'm not so sure. That's why I want to hear.
I just saw the play online. Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't a foul.
Okay.
He called it a foul. Made a mistake. It is what it is, But
how frustrating is that?
It's really frustrating. But all I can do now is support my team from the bench. But bullshit. It's frustrating because it's late game. It's fourth quarter. It's a physical, close game. It's the NBA. It's not college, it's not high school. Some people are going to get hit. Some people will bleed. It's basketball.
And how much in the defense are your issues just lack of reps as a group versus?
I think some of it tonight was a little bit of just bullshit calls, but perhaps make mistakes too. So.
The Grizzlies are known for kind of playing chippy and kind of getting.
That's why I was a little confused. You one way, you're expecting the team to play physical, and then you come out in defense and play the same way, physical. And it goes one way in terms of fouls, but that's basketball. You got to adjust, and I don't think we adjusted well.
Ben Simmons just saying he thinks it's rust for your game. You think that's all it is right now?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It's been a minute since you seen me play, so it's a different speed, different physicality. So it's just adjusting and getting back to, playing basketball and getting comfortable.
Where does that impact you more, on offense or on defense?
I think a bit of both. I think it's both. I think just guarding certain players, getting adjusted at speed, how physical you can be. Then offensively, it's a whole new team, a whole new play style. So just getting used to that, finding my guys, and putting myself in positions to help this team.
I know you guys want to play better defense, but even Steve Nash said before that he liked how you guys were able to match that physicality, going back at them. How is this defense kind of continuing to label itself, especially when it comes to improvements game after game?
I think it's little details, communication defensively, and then a focus that we need to have, each game and each play. We can't get caught up in past plays.
You said all along, it's not your job to give anybody a pep talk or anything, but you notice him getting a little more frustrated with the continued foul problems that he's dealing with.
Yeah, I think a few of those were questionable, but that's just how it is, and I'm sure they called a few questionable ones on them as well. It just evens out at some point. I thought the last foul he got I didn't think that one was a foul, but, it is what it is. Ben's a veteran in this league, so, he trusts himself, we trust him, and this is about just bouncing back next game.
Most of what I have to say to that is just trusting that he's a professional and that his skills are going to catch up to our game plan eventually. And when I say that, just he's there, but I think just body-wise, I'm not going to give him any excuses. Of course, I don't think he wants any excuses from me, but the relationship that we've developed is really centered around just holding each other to that high standard and knowing that, we're capable of doing some special things night to night. But a lot of it is mental. A lot of it is pushing through just what you feel like you're capable of doing, especially when you're coming off an injury. I don't know if you guys have ever had a significant injury or something that you're pushing through. But when you're out there and the game's moving fast and, you're playing with some great players and it's a, environment where it's new, when you're playing on the road with some new guys that you haven't played with. I think we've been together for 4 weeks now, total. So though we have guys that have been here for a few years together, but it's still a new synergy we have to figure out, new DNA. And once we find that heartbeat, that rhythm, that pulse within our team, I feel like things will start clicking. But until then, I think you guys can quote me too. I said this at media day. It's going to look ugly sometimes. It's going to look beautiful. It's going to look ugly. And game to game, we're going to have to figure it out. And we had a chance to win this game. We did. We should win. When there's great players out on the floor, I feel like I have a great chance of winning every game I play in. But in terms of how I individually feel, doesn't matter. It's all about the team, and Ben's a big part of that, and we need him to lock in just like as much as us.
Steve, is there a common thread you've seen with Ben's foul issues through the first 3 games?
I think rust. I just don't think he's played a lot of basketball. So he's just trying to get his game back, his confidence, and the familiarity. It's been 18 months basically, so that's a long period of inactivity, and for anyone who's played the game, that's very difficult.
Steve, too, the point of Ben in the defense, is it just reps?
A lot of it. For Ben in particular, but for the group, collective reps is important. But for Ben, I think, we have to have some patience with him. We're going to push him. We're going to support him, challenge him. At the same time, like I said, anyone who's played knows you can't replicate the game. So when you don't play in an NBA game for however long it was, 16, 18 months, it does take time to get a feel for it again. And unfortunately, that's gonna have some painful moments for him. But at the same time, it shows he's got a long ways, a lot of growth to do to get back to where he is, and he's already showed a lot of glimpses. So, he's going to get there. It's just a matter of getting the support and hopefully getting there as quick as possible.